Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Dominion Gaming TV. My name is Wolf and I am bringing to you some more Starcraft 2 action. This is going to be the last best of 3 the last game in a best of 3 in the 1v1 seeds for the HSL Grand Final. Turns out that they will be going to a 2v2 decider, no matter what the case is. Even if one of the teams does get the 3-1, it doesn't matter. The 2v2 is on the replay, so I will be casting them either way. But let's introduce our 2 players we have today. We have ourselves in the top left-hand side. He is Orange. He is Protoss. He is Melbourne High. He is Untitled. Oh yes. Actually, I've never noticed that. Those are little things that happen around the... Anyway, exploring the bottom right-hand side, we have ourselves our Terran player. He is somewhat of a legend in his builds and refining them. His name is Redemption. He is playing for Bowen High School. Oh, yes. Now, this map, Shakura's Plateau. Let's have a quick look at it. You got your main, you got your natural. The main has a thin ramp up, and a slightly less thin, probably about double the size in width down here. The bottom team can get a great concave to go up and around. Top team can get a relatively good concave to go down, around. Actually no, top team can get a really good concave if it's done properly. And then you got either your third here or up here. Up here is slightly harder to defend than down here, but sometimes you want to go up there anyway. But yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, first game we saw a very macro-oriented play. Redemption going in for an attack against Untitled and crushing the army, but they sort of broke even and decided to back up and macro back up. And then the next fight was slightly less even, and it was slightly more in Untitled's favor. And from there on, the engagements that they had were more and more in Untitled's favor. In the end, a lot of storms leading on top of Redemption's army did lead to Redemption losing the majority of his army to like a volley of the Colossus and a storm, which was quite painful and ends up GGing and losing the game. So that makes Melbourne High 1 ahead right there. So, second game, Untitled thinks, hey, I'm ahead 1 game. I'm gonna 4-gate, try and catch him off guard. Somehow Redemption caught wind of it and put down 3 bunkers at his natural. He expands, builds a bunch of Marines, and holds off the initial push, and holds it off again and again and again. From there, he then he then builds up an army, pushes out across the map, drops in the main, denies a load of mining time, kills quite a few units quite cost efficiently, and then ends up moving in with his army and then crushing after the Protoss tried to delay as long as possible, but the Protoss wasn't able to get the tech that he wanted. So Untitled loses that game, Redemption wins. Now it's 1-1. This is game 3. Now, what's going to happen here, this is going to be a deciding game. I'm not too sure if they're going to go for a macro play, or if they're going to go for some form of defense, or from looks of it, it's going to be more macro going into the mid game at least. So it's going to be going for like a mid-game sort of play at least, very least, and so we're just going to see what they're actually deciding they're going to do. 3 racks is now up for Redemption. It's going to be getting more SCVs and that tech lab for the barracks to be able to get those stim and stuff like that. The natural expand is on the way for Untitled, almost complete, as well as getting that robotics facility. 2 more gates are coming down, as well as getting that extra gas that he needs for the robo and other units. Now, if both people are playing actually really greedy, going for upgrades and going for macro, like getting SCVs and expand, over getting a lot of units, if either one of them did like an early push, they would either one of them would be royally screwed. Now the observer is coming out to go across the map to be able to check whatever he needs to see. Scan does go down to see that the natural is there, and so Redemption will decide what to do from here, getting that factory now, as well as getting the reactor onto each of these barracks to get more Marines out per minute. Now the factory is on the way, is about almost complete, going to be following up with a starport there. Marine's going to be moving out across the map just to be able to take some map pressure, maybe these towers or something. Now that's actually another thing to note. Look at this, the middle of this map. It is like filled with chokes. Now this Marine won't die, but he will be able to kill off the Stalker really easily. But no, the Stalker will actually be able to get away. He doesn't end up killing it. No, he's going to juke back and go back the other way. Redemption thinking, oh, he's going to go around, but the Untitled goes back the other way and dukes back and keeps the Stalker alive. Quite awesome play from there. A bunch of Marines are now on the way for Redemption, getting out that those medevacs. I wonder if he's going to be going for some sort of drop play in the early game or something like that. Immortal is on the way, as well as getting that Twilight Council. The Twilight Council will be very handy to get charge or go up to Storm Tech if desired. The Immortal will be good for any sort of whatever. No, does Redemption see it? No, he's going out to the other watchtower. I thought he saw the Observer and he was going to go down and kill it, but apparently not. The Observer does come in here and sees absolutely everything that Redemption has. The two medevacs should be on the way sometime in the near future. Probably when he has them. No, he can do it, so he's just not doing it yet. Don't know what's happening. Actually, a lot of nothing is happening. Now he's starting to get. He's let his minerals get really high for a moment there. Constant supply depot production, as well as getting a third command center and additional barracks to be able to follow up with some sort of macro play. Untitled deciding to move out across the map when he actually doesn't really have that big of an army. If you look at the army supply, or not supply, but there's 25 Marines to the 6 Stalkers, which can actually only do anything to those Marines at one time. So I think Untitled does not actually know what he's going up against. There's a lot of Marines here, and there's 2 medevacs. These medevacs will do a lot of damage. Double gas is on the way on the natural. Now, I'm not sure if Untitled looks to hold the center of the map, but no, DT's on the way here. DT's could make or break this game, and we will see what actually happens and comes of them. It looks like that Redemption doesn't really want to push out right now, just wants to keep on getting more SCVs and keeping up getting that tech. The shield is now also complete. Probably going to be getting that concussive shell as soon as he can, which is exactly what he did. Going to be getting additional tech labs to get that high marauder count, which he seems to love to get. Zealot Archon could actually be a thing here. No, but getting the storm upgrade as well. Some Zealots being mixed into the lot, as well as getting that getting the charge upgrade. DT is almost finished here. It could be quite devastating, but no, this is going to be a massive push from Redemption. Redemption has the superior army here, and upgrades +1/+1 is on the way. The Observer will follow the army and be able to see absolutely when and where this army goes. Now, Untitled more likely just going to go back to his base and do whatever he can to get in as many waves as possible. Armory is on the way for our Terran player. The Twilight Archives is now complete. The rallying across the map is actually occurring right now from Redemption. Redemption probably going to be wanting to do a lot of damage here. He does see that the third is going down. He may stem in here to take it out. It is cancelled, so he will go towards the natural here. There is actually no AoE here from Untitled. There's 3 DTs up here in the main. He's going to stem up here, and the bad force fields, wasting a bunch of force fields here, but the Zealots will be able to do a lot of damage, and the army on the bottom half of the force fields aren't actually able to do a whole lot. He kills a few units, but isn't able to do a lot there. A lot of his army does end up dying. Actually, half of his army ends up dying. 3 DTs at the front of the base here. Should have probably waited for that +1/+1. An additional gateway is coming down here. He's got to be careful of these DTs. These DTs will be able to do a lot of damage depending on what happens to them. If they get if stim happens and is able to take them out, well then there isn't a whole lot that can be done. now a Marauder and missile turret is here at the main base, so he will be able to see the DTs come up up here, and we'll be able to kill them down really quickly. DTs decide to turn around rather than stay here and head towards the army here. Missile turret going down on top of the army. The DTs are now cost ineffective. I'm going to be going back home right now. I'm going to be taking each of the each of the towers to be able to see everything that happens. Storm is now on the way for the Twilight Archives. Additional gateways are going down to be able to go for a very gateway-centric army here from Untitled. Now, those Immortals actually did surprising amounts of damage here, doing 20 damage plus 50 to those Marauders. The Marauders actually are armored. Yeah, they are armored, so they will take extra damage. Now, what will this DT do? The DT decides to start taking out units in the base, but no hits. Isn't able to kill anything. If he scans, he will be able to kill it off really easily. Steams up here and will be able to focus fire down a lot of the army. A lot of the army is actually just going to be crushed. Redemption going to be killing down everything of Untitled. Untitled loses absolutely all of this army. All he has left is probes and DTs. DTs actually doing a fair bit of damage, but the DTs can't actually do all the damage that he needs to do. The probes going to be going down here, losing all of his probes, trying to warp in as many as he can. But what can he do? The DTs will die. 30 supply left from Untitled, and there isn't anything that he can do. He's lost his economy. He's lost his army. His last hope is this Storm. But the Storm, what can they actually do? Steaming up into the main base of Untitled, going to be going for the production here. Is going to be waited till the last probe here to be able to survive as long as possible to be able to get this win for Baldwin High. But he GG's, leaves the game, and Melbourne High take this best of 3. So I do believe that if I was correct in the presumption that the Baldwin High won the last game. They did win the first game of the best of 3, but there was no more games in the replay, so that would take both of the teams to 2-2, which actually makes the 2v2 I have in my replay pack actually mean something. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's find out who will be your HSL champions. I'll see you guys next time.